Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is April 26th, and we are talking right now with SBR contributor Dana Lane. We're going to take a look at the series prices for the three round two series that are already set and have odds out. Dana Lane, let's start with the Pens and Capitals. Now, this is an interesting one, right? The Pens beat the Rangers in 5. The Capitals beat Philly in 6. The Pens, though, might have the edge in this series with even strength shot metrics, and the Caps only scored 2 goals in their last 3 games against Philly. So I'm thinking maybe we might want to take a shot with Pittsburgh, although the market is not going to let us creep up on anyone. Right now they're just plus 105 market wide to win the series. But we might want to take a shot with the Pens in 6 or 7 games, assuming that it's not going to be necessarily an easy series. But what do you think? Pens and Capitals, do you think the Pens might actually have the edge here?
Yeah, I certainly could see where you're coming from, Pete. And, it really comes down to let's see how Braden Holtby responds to his, shall we say, lack of success against the Pittsburgh Penguins during the regular season. And we know that the Penguins have won 3 out of the 5 meetings this season, and the last 2 have not gone, especially the last one has not gone very well for Braden Holtby. In fact, in the last 2 meetings, he's given up a total of 9 goals to the Pittsburgh Penguins, which is great if you're a Capitals bettor, because you know that they're going to go in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, especially Braden Holtby. And this has been a long time that they've had a series or even an individual game where something would kind of push them a little bit further and force them to get something from deep down inside. But I think this really comes down to Holtby. He's been fantastic. He's only allowed 2 goals in his 2 goals or more once in his last 7 games, and that was, of course, the series against Philadelphia and one against St. Louis. So when it comes down to goaltending in this, and I have to choose between Holtby and Murray, I certainly am going to side with Holtby in this one.
All right, so who do you think is going to would have the value to win this series at the odds as they are right now? If the Pens were like plus 150, I'd be loving them, but the market is wise to them plus 105. Well, where do you think the value might be?
I just really like the way that the Capitals are playing. And, of course, in our early videos, I've already said Washington, so I can't be hypocritical in that play. But I just really like the way Washington is not only playing offensively, but the way that they're playing defensively. And I think your best players have to be your best players and during the playoffs. So certainly Ovechkin has been fantastic for them, as has Crosby for Pittsburgh. But I think there's just a mission going on there, and I like Pittsburgh, but I think it's going to be a long series. And in fact, if you want to take a shot with if you want to take a shot with Washington in 6, you are getting over $5 in return, and I love those 6 numbers.
Okay, right now the Washington to win the series is about minus 120, but to win in 7, they're plus 410, and to win in 6, plus 540 at Pinnacle right now. And then let's move on to the Islanders and Tampa Bay. The Islanders beat Florida in 6. We've made a lot of great calls in the playoffs so far, Dana Lane, but that was not one of them. We both like Florida there. Islanders beat them in 6. The Isles are really peaking at the right time now. They did have some injuries heading into that series, but it didn't matter. Tampa Bay also had some injuries heading into their series with Detroit, but they won that one pretty easily in 5, and Ben Bishop was awesome as expected / hoped. And the Tampa Bay is a pretty solid favorite here. Right now they're minus 164 at Pinnacle, minus 155 at Heritage, but the Islanders are clearly outplaying their expectations, and peaking at the right time. What do you think? Do you think that Tampa Bay handles this one easily, or the Islanders surprise again?
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay handles this pretty easily, Pete. I mean, if you go back and look at the last time that they played, not only did the Lightning have 6 goals against Grice, but they also had 41 shots on net, and there was a definitive speed advantage, and I don't see that being any different going into this one. Even though Stamkos is out of the lineup, they've seemed to have some life breathed into him with Jonathan Drouin and Nikita Kucherov, who have played fantastic in this series. So definitely for me, Pete, it's Tampa Bay in this, but we don't like to lay that $1.64. But I am looking at Tampa Bay in 6, plus 480, 485, somewhere around there.
Yeah, Tampa Bay right now at Pinnacle, plus 483. And then St. Louis, Dallas. St. Louis finally gets out of round one, and I kind of had a sense that would happen. I did predict that St. Louis would win that series, although it was close, of course. And then Dallas, we both gave the opinion that we thought Dallas was getting disrespected on the futures odds at the start of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And here, maybe they are again. They have home ice advantage, but they're dead even with St. Louis. And at Pinnacle, actually, St. Louis is a slight favorite, minus 108. Dallas is minus 104 to win this one. St. Louis gave up a lot of goals in the Chicago series. I think they probably still have some of their fundamental problems that caused them issues in the playoffs in previous years. I'm thinking Dallas at minus 110, minus 105, whatever you can get them to win the series might be a good bet. What do you think?
I agree, Pete, because we had Dallas going far into the playoffs, and I agreed. I knew they had to go through either St. Louis or Chicago. The one thing for me is obviously it comes down to goaltending for Dallas. Will Lettinen step up, or will it be Niemi? And it seems to be these two goaltenders are good for a couple nights, and then they have a real bad game, maybe in three, and then the fourth time out, and then you have a goaltending controversy again in Dallas. And I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be a time where they're going to be able to outscore St. Louis. I think they really need solid goaltending to win this series. But it's a huge advantage for Dallas having to go through the Minnesota Wild while St. Louis had to play Chicago. And I want to see how the residue of the Chicago-St. Louis series resonates into the second round against Dallas. It may take St. Louis a couple games to get their legs back underneath them. And, of course, we also have to find out if anything is anything wrong in that locker room. There was a rumblings the last couple days where, some players weren't happy with their playing time. And, of course, that could have an effect as well. Didn't seem to last night, so that's why we're not putting too much into it. But when you have a superstar like Tarasenko coming out and saying he should get more time on the ice, obviously that kind of resonates a little bit in the locker room. I like Dallas in this too. I think you're getting a very generous price, and certainly in 6, if you like Dallas in 6, you're getting almost plus 690.
Minus 110 at Heritage, minus 105 at Pinnacle. I think that might be my favorite play out of all these series, betting on just Dallas to win the series. What do you think, Dana?
Yeah, I think that's good as well. I really like Tampa Bay in their series, although I don't want to lay $1.64 for the series. But I really like Dallas. I thought they would go to the finals, and certainly if I feel that way, then I have to ride them in this series.
Dana Lane, thanks so much for your very insightful thoughts. As always, talk to you again tomorrow for the Wednesday games.